Hello, I hope you're well and welcome back to my channel, Hannah Tay. I thought I would talk about how much my reading has changed and what kind of reading I'm doing going forward, more intentional reading. So when I started this channel, I obviously didn't have children. It was like a million years ago and I had a lot more time to read, and how I used to pick the books that I wanted to read is I used to buy them all from charity shops. I never bought brand new books. I would go into a charity shop that was called the Lions Bookshop that no longer exists, and you could get 5 books for £1, which is a really great deal, because if you go into most charity shops now, they're like £2 per book. So I got 5 books for £1, and I would choose different authors and genres that I wasn't necessarily interested in, but I was just curious about. And because the books were so cheap, I could really explore different genres and different authors that I'd never heard of before. So then I would just read through my stash of books that I had bought from the various charity shops that I had been to. And then I moved on to intentional reading with authors. So I had found by that point a series of authors that I loved. So Jodi Picoult, Tracy Chevalier, Agatha Christie, Mary Higgins Clark, Alice Walker. So when I went into charity shops, I'd be looking for their books. So I wouldn't just be picking 5 books from 5 random authors. I'd be picking maybe 3 books that were from my favourite authors and then 2 random kind of wild card choice books. And then now I'm a mum and I just don't have as much time to read, but I still want to read. I still think reading is like a really important part of my life and a hobby that I absolutely love. And so the only time that I read now is my like me time, is when my son is taking a nap, or if I put him down early in the evening to sleep and I'm not too tired, then I'll read then, or on car journeys, or if we're in some kind of reception waiting room kind of thing, then I might be able to get a little bit of my book read. So with that in mind, I've now implicated much more intentional reading, and that's why I've been unhauling books. If you had spoken to me 2 years ago and said you're going to be unhauling so many of your books, I wouldn't have believed you, because I just always thought that I would just read at random. Just, oh, well, I bought this book. There must have been a reason I bought it at the time. Something must have spoke to me, the plot, or maybe I've read something from that author before, so I'll just read it. Even though I'm not necessarily in the mood for it now, it might unlock something within me, and then I might actually end up enjoying the book. And that's worked out so well for me before, actually. It's just picking up a book, maybe not really being in the mood for that kind of book, and then finding a new genre that actually I really enjoy. An example of that is poetry. I used to never read poetry, and then I bought a few poetry collections from a charity shop, started reading them and absolutely loved them. And obviously you don't love like every poem in the world or every genre of poetry, but then I would start highlighting poems and putting little tabs in the books so that when I went back to the books, I wouldn't reread the whole books over again, just the bits that I had highlighted in tabs, those favourite poems I have behind me on the shelf here, like my own little library of my favourite poems. So nowadays with my reading, I'm still buying books secondhand. I normally buy them off eBay as opposed to charity shops. And I do also buy new books because I'm more looking into authors that I like. Or if I'm feeling I want to read a book about something very specific, then I will buy that book. For example, since becoming a mother, I've read a lot more books about motherhood. Before becoming a mum, I don't think I've read anything about motherhood at all, or anything where the main character was a mum. But now that I'm a mum myself, I'm quite liking like psychological thriller mum dramas, that kind of stuff. So it's not normal mum stuff of like how to be the perfect mum, like she's a mum but she's a killer. And I was thinking the other day, this idea of reading books as medicine. And I feel like people do this with films. If they're feeling a bit down, they might go for a rom-com. If they're feeling a little bit like bland within their life, nothing's very exciting, they might go for a thriller. And I was thinking that's really how I read now. So if I'm feeling a bit down, I want a comfort read, so I might read a manga. If I'm feeling, and also like a children's book, a classic children's book as well. If I'm feeling a bit down, they're my go-tos. If I'm feeling like I just want like a bit of excitement or something, I'm going for a Mary Higgins Clark, I'm going for an Agatha Christie, going to delve into those murder mysteries. Whereas before, I would never see books as that. Books were just like a pile of books that I wanted to get through. You would think that would mean that I'm enjoying the books more, but I don't think I am. You'd think because I'm more intentional about it and I'm choosing authors and genres that kind of speak to me more as a person, that I would enjoy the books a little bit more. I'm still reading a lot of books that I don't like. Like, I'm a negative Nancy, I'm sorry. And just because you like one book from an author doesn't mean that you're going to like another book from that same author. But there are certain authors that I know if I pick up Mary Higgins Clark, I know I'm going to like it. I know, like, if I pick up an Alice Walker, I know I'm going to like it. So I'm so glad that I have those bases of authors, Agatha Christie, that I can just fall back onto. And I have Tracy Chevalier. Everything I've read from them, I have absolutely adored. But choosing from genres that kind of speak to you doesn't mean you're going to like that genre necessarily. But I still have this like yearning to read from new authors. And so I'll be much more intentional with the genres that I pick and pick it more towards my personal tastes, as opposed to just trying to work my way through all these secondhand books that I have bought. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to enjoy the books more, even though you would think being more intentional, being more in tune with yourself and picking genres that are kind of speaking to you more, you would, oh, my neighbour is mowing his front lawn now. I don't want him to see me. Tell me how you read. Do you buy books like I used to and just work your way through the pile? Or are you more of an intentional reader more? I want to elaborate more on this topic about intentional reading. And I want to find out how I can unlock much more intentional reading that I'm going to enjoy a larger percentage of the books that I actually pick. So I'm going to have to end it here now because he's mowing and I don't want to be caught. So I'm going to end it here and I will see you again soon for another video. I make 3 videos a week. Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So I will see you again soon for another video.